In 1973, a team of psychologists set out to test an old piece of dating folklore. The idea that a hard-to-get woman is more desirable than one who's easy to reach. Elaine Walster and her team ran the experiment. It failed. They ran it again. It failed again. 5 times the theory collapsed under real data. Then on the 6th attempt, they finally saw what they'd been missing. And it explains something that still trips guys up today. Why the calm man in the room pulls women toward him without trying, while the guy chasing her texts pushes her further away. Here's what they actually found. A woman who acted cold and distant toward every man wasn't rated more desirable, she was just rated cold. Men lost interest fast. But a woman who seemed hard to reach for everyone else and warm, genuine, clearly into one specific guy, she was rated the most desirable woman in the entire study, not because she was unavailable, because her interest meant something. It wasn't handed out, it was earned. That one detail changed how psychologists understood attraction. It was never about distance, it's about selection. And that single shift is the real secret behind effortless attraction. Now flip it to the side most men actually live on. Psychologists who study relationships have a name for what happens when a man needs constant proof a woman likes him back. They call it excessive reassurance-seeking. Texting again after no reply, over-explaining a joke that didn't land, reading a late reply like it's a verdict on his worth. Study after study on this pattern finds the same result. It doesn't calm anyone down, it does the opposite. It pushes the other person further away. Because a text that quietly begs, "Do you still like me?" is really saying something else. "I don't believe I'm worth choosing unless you keep proving it." There's a third piece to this. Dating researchers call it preselection. People consistently rate someone as more desirable the moment they see that person already valued by others. A friend group that likes him, a full calendar, a life that doesn't revolve around one phone thread. Not because of jealousy, because value somebody else already noticed is easier to trust than value a man has to explain himself into. Put all 3 findings side by side, and it gets uncomfortable. A woman becomes more desirable the second her interest looks selective, not desperate. A man becomes less desirable the second his interest looks desperate, not selective. Same rule, both directions. Robert Cialdini gave this force a name decades ago, the scarcity principle. Something rare feels valuable. Something constantly available, chasing, explaining, performing, quietly reads as low value, even when nobody says it out loud. Effortless attraction was never about being cold, it was about being real, about having attention that isn't handed to everyone who walks by. That's why the calm guy in the room never looks like he's performing. He's not refreshing his phone. He's not rehearsing his next text. He has a life that keeps moving whether she replies in 5 minutes or 5 hours. He listens when she talks. He means what he says. Then he goes back to living. Not as a tactic, as the truth. Underneath every experiment, every failed theory, the real shift is this simple. Stop auditioning for her attention. Build a life good enough that your attention actually means something. So next time you feel the pull to text twice, to explain yourself again, to chase one more reply, remember what 6 experiments and 50 years of research finally proved. She was never testing your effort, she was testing whether you'd still be you without her.